Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the NXT review for the 20th of April 2021. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. We got over 1,200 audios available for your listening pleasure. Old school, new school, and all points in between. If you are looking for life, business, relationship coaching, please go to my other channel, Golden Opportunities Coaching, and we'd love to help you and give you and work with you on making your life the best it can possibly be in 2021 and beyond. But onto the NXT review. I will say them having their own night makes things easier for me because I can get to these reviews quicker, and ultimately I can also make time to easily watch the program as opposed to trying to do things in the middle of the night to make AEW and everything come together, in the same day. Anyhow, I actually find that the two shows since moving to Tuesday have been better than average. And I don't know, I mean, maybe that's just bias or whatever. Anyway, Kyle O'Reilly opens the show with an in-ring promo. He comes in street clothes and he ditches the shades and the hat while ready to get serious, but puts them back on by the end of the segment. O'Reilly wanted his work in the ring to speak for itself. He defeats Adam Cole, and it's time to move on. O'Reilly found the killer instinct he needed, talked about next goal, and begins to mention the NXT Championship. Cameron Grimes makes the mistake of interrupting him. Grimes confronts O'Reilly in the ring. Grimes wanted to invest in O'Reilly. Grimes then thinks O'Reilly is buying what he's selling. O'Reilly jokingly played along. O'Reilly then said he is cleared to wrestle and his next opponent is nearby. Of course, Grimes is there and he says he is the last to figure it out. O'Reilly decks him and they will have a match in tonight's main event. Saray enters the building. She goes to meet with William Regal. He welcomes her before Zoe Stark approached them. Stark wants to wrestle Savay tonight, and Savay agreed. They have a match later on. Why matches aren't booked before we go live on television, I'll never know. LA King cuts promo, noticing a lot of promos here. He makes excuses for getting eliminated from the Gauntlet Eliminator and then insulted Dexter Lumis. Knight and Lumis meet in a match that is next. Knight pins Lumis after being distracted by Indy Hartwell. Knight's getting his butt kicked. He's cut off by Lumis before he cuts Lumis off before the commercial break. Lumis fights back during the break. Knight cuts him off again. Knight's working him over, and the show returns to air. Lumis makes a comeback. Knight targets his back and sends him into the ring apron. They're fighting at ringside when Lumis notices Indy Hartwell is there. Lumis and Hartwell looked lovingly at each other and as though they wanted to jump each other right there. Knight hits Lumis with a sneak attack, and Knight starts trying to flirt with Hartwell. This doesn't go well. Lumis jumps over the ropes with a flying axe handle to the floor. On Knight, Lumis is again distracted by Hartwell. Knight delivers a crazy neckbreaker, and Knight covers Lumis for the pinfall. Hartwell and Lumis are about to kiss when the Way come out and pull Hartwell out of the ring onto the apron. Austin Theory carries Hartwell away as Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano bark and yell at everybody. Beth Phoenix interviews Io Shirai in a pre-tape sit-down interview at the Performance Center. Shirai talks about, in some broken English, the possibility of taking a break. They're interrupted by Presley the Pomeranian, and he leaps onto the table. Frankie Monet enters the scene, apologizing for the dog. She then basically complains about the dog some more. He's generally a good boy, she says. Monet says it's nice to meet Shirai, and she's thrilled to meet Phoenix. Shirai is taking a break. Monet said she'd fill her shoes. Monet then goes on to say that her shoes were better anyway. Shirai jumps to her feet and cuts promo on Monet in Japanese. Monet said she didn't understand that. And I like cats, Shirai says, and she walks off. And Monet says somebody must be having a bad day. Grizzled Young Veterans James Drake and Zach Gibson defeats Breezango, Tyler Breeze, and Fandango. Gibson pins Breeze with a ticket to Mayhem. Breezango is cosplaying as the Queen's Guard. This angled the veterans who they fight through commercial. Drake is leaping off the top turnbuckle when the show returns. Why you don't show that whole move, I have no idea. Sells his knee like it went out on him. Action stops, but then it's all a heel deal. Referee's busy tending to Drake. Gibson pokes Fandango in the eye. Drake is playing possum, and then Drake pops up on Fandango. Vets begin to work over Fandango. Hot tag allows Breeze to clean house on the heels. And Vets soon cut off Breeze. He didn't notice the blind tag. Breeze is caught with a ticket to Mayhem. Gibson then covers Breeze for the pinfall. McKenzie is trying to interview Indy Hartwell, but interrupted by the way. Bronson Reed then confronts them. This leads to Austin Theory saying that he was booked in a match against Reed. Reed goes at things for next week. This gets more like Saturday Night Live than a wrestling angle, and it's, I guess, fine. Commercial break. Mitchell's back with another interview, this time with an angry Cameron Grimes. Almost called him Crimson Grimes. That'd be a good name too. He's given an envelope that cheers him up, but not for long. Grimes thought that he had a winning bid, but the letter informed him that he was outbid by Ted DiBiase. Grimes flows into a rage and yells at DiBiase. Maybe the $1 Million Man makes a cameo at some point in the future. That would be fun. Saray pins Stark after a Salto suplex. This is a hard-hitting match throughout. Saray is pushed like a big deal. Showcase match for her. Stark did get in a good bit of offense first. Had to escape an STS. Comebacks to work over her opponent pretty aggressively. They trade strikes, and Saray rocks Stark with a dropkick. Leads to a near fall for Saray. And Fisherman Buster. Stark answers back with a high kick, suplex, knee strike, and a near fall. Stark misses a 450 splash. They go back and forth, trading several near falls and strikes. Then there's the suplex by Saray, and covers and gets the victory. Tori Storm runs down to attack Stark after the match. Saray came back to Stark's aid, and apparently this is the babyface alliance of some sort. Anyway, NXT, Raquel Gonzalez is interviewed with Dakota Kai by her side. Kai is a heel, but Gonzalez is teasing, kind of being a tweener towards the babyface side. Strong champion and ready for a challenge. Candice LeRae is backstage trying to get Hartwell to focus on something other than her new boyfriend, or wannabe boyfriend anyway. LeRae is ranting and raving. Hartwell follows her. LeRae did not notice when Hartwell stopped and followed her completely. LeRae then bumps into NXT Women's Tag Team Champion Ember Moon. Shotzi Blackheart. LeRae is cutting a promo on them, thinking Hartwell had her back. Hartwell did not, and the champs then attacked LeRae. Just a weird segment overall. Video package hyping Kushida, and the new NXT Cruiserweight Champion comes to the ring for his first title defense. Kushida cuts a promo saying he's issuing an open challenge. Out comes Oney Lorcan for the challenge. I love Lorcan, so I'm good with this. Kushida gets Orkin to submit to the hoverboard lock. Fantastic. Legado de Fantasma attacks Kushida post match. Anyway, last week, there's a win of. Last week, Kushida not only won the title but debuted new gear. He still wears the boots and ditches the shorts when he wins, and then he ditches the boots as well and wrestles barefoot. Announcers speculated this had something to do with his MMA background. They grapple like it's a hybrid MMA style match, but also do some pro wrestling spots in the middle. Kushida goes for an armbar. Lorcan escapes. Kushida is clearly in control, and the show goes to commercial break. Lorcan's able to cut off Kushida during the break. Kushida, after the break, fires up a bit into handspring. Lorcan hits him with a lariat. Kushida, moments later, comes back with a strike and a series of kicks. They trade strikes. Lorcan catches him with a blockbuster, and Kushida kicks out at a near fall of about 2.5. Kushida absorbs chops from Lorcan and makes a comeback, and then Kushida locks in the hoverboard lock and a tap out by Lorcan. Would love to see their team return when his partner is fully healthy. Santos Escobar and Legado de Fantasma attack Kushida, and Tag Team Champions MSK make the save. They run off Legado del Fantasma. Mercedes Martinez calls out both Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. The Imperium of Bartel and Enkner with Alexander Wolf defeat Ever Rise, Parker, and Martel. Odd that they both have two Martels in the same match. Bartel pins Parker, dominant fashion. Imperium looks pretty strong throughout the match. Imperium squashing Ever Rise until Killian Dane enters the scene. Dane appears. Ankner is distracted. This allows Parker to get a roll-up. Ankner for 2 count. Parker pays for it and gets completely taken out. Drake Maverick comes down to ringside, wanting a fight. Wolf, but Dane carries Maverick away. Parker takes a Doomsday uppercut, and Bartel covered for the pinfall. And announced for next Tuesday, NXT, and 2 matches: Dakota Kai against Mercedes Martinez, singles match, and Bronson Reed meets Austin Theory. If Reed wins, he earns a title match for the North American Championship. Hopefully, he actually gets the championship, because the stop and go push he's been getting is driving me nuts. Anyway, Kyle O'Reilly on his way to the ring and meets with champion Karrion Kross and Scarlett. They all stare at each other. O'Reilly is apparently going to be a challenger in the not-too-distant future. O'Reilly defeats Cameron Grimes in your main event. O'Reilly pins Grimes in a great match. It didn't really feel like a main event, but it ends up feeling like one by the end of the contest. Really good match overall. Chain wrestling that actually one would be surprised that Grimes puts in unless you've watched the majority of his indie career. O'Reilly's in control. Grimes nails a German suplex and turns the tide. Show cuts to commercial at the inopportune time, and then Grimes targets the neck. Grimes was working over O'Reilly as the show returns from the break. O'Reilly eventually fires up and trades strikes. O'Reilly goes for the heel hook. Grimes then reaches the ropes. Grimes fights back. O'Reilly locks in a submission. O'Reilly then delivers a penalty kick. Grimes still fights back with a spinning slam. O'Reilly counters a German suplex with a leg lock, trades a bunch of strikes. Grimes then hits another near fall, and O'Reilly fires up for the last time, nails Grimes with the axe and smash. O'Reilly delivers a devastating brainbuster and climbs to the top. O'Reilly hits a flying knee drop and gets a pin on Grimes. Better NXT than normal. And the move to Tuesday seems to have helped their continuity at least a little bit. covered a 2-hour show in about 15 minutes. That's what we do here. We try and keep it light. And until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.